What's going on, everybody? We are live, Live, live. I'm Matt. He's Dan. We're Mouth of the Mark, and this is a week in wrestling. Dan, it's been a long time since we've done a week in wrestling.
Yeah, dude, it's been a while. It's been a while, and unfortunately, wrestling hasn't really. It's not like we've missed much. If you just go back on our YouTube channel and watch our last show, it's not like we've really missed a whole lot in between. It's been pretty abysmal up until this Raw, in my opinion. But I mean, I'm actually pretty stoked on this week in wrestling. What do you think?
Uh, you know, Fastlane got a lot of heat. The some of the card order deserved it, and the main event finish and the 6-man tag match deserved all the heat it got. But a lot of people were shitting on the wrestling on the card too, and I'm like, the wrestling was actually pretty good. Like I enjoyed the wrestling for most of Fastlane.
Yeah, most of it. Well, I'd say about half of it. I agree with.
No, I'll give most because I'll count the pre-show more than most
Okay,
being
okay,
more than
okay.
50%.
If we're counting the pre-show, then I will say most. I'll agree with you on that because that was a really good match. It surprised me. I wasn't expecting the Kalisto Del Rio match to be as good as it was. Um, Del Rio has a tendency to kind of be a little baby about things as far as doing jobs, and he put him over really well.
He
I
kept
think
himself looking good too.
yeah. I mean, I thought this deserved to be. I think this deserved to be where Axel and
Oh,
Truth was.
absolutely.
That's a
You could have
whole
put
other cluster in itself.
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
you
Who
could have
thought that
put
was a
Edge
good
and
idea?
Christian on the pre-show. I
Yeah,
mean, if you want,
Cutting Edge Peep Show would have been perfect on the pre-show.
it could have been just enough.
Could have
I
did
know
it.
that they want. I know they want a match on the pre-show to where it's not just like panel, talky segment, panel, then pay-per-view. Like I
Yeah,
understand they want a match, but like not a title match. And if you do a title match, like not a 2 out of 3 falls match. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
if they were if I knew like now what they were gonna do with that 6-man tag match, and as much as I hate to say it, I'd have put that on the pre-show instead of the Kalisto match.
yeah,
And that's just terrible to say considering that 6-man tag match had the Wyatts in it.
yeah. It did.
Yeah. So um Raw was good. First half of Raw was good, and then I felt like really the win kind of got sucked out of it uh, until the last 10 minutes, and the last 10 minutes were hilarious. I'm gonna go on record right now and just say that I'm going to watch Raw for the sole purpose of laughing as a number one heel in the company who is your world champion gets cheered like a babyface in 4 smart towns.
Dude, the end of Raw though, when he's holding
Went
the belt.
so wrong. Went
Dude,
so
I
wrong.
mean, I feel like there's a few seconds that they caught it on film, and it's almost like you could read his face, like, God, how is this gonna work? How is this gonna work?
You could
Like,
see it in his face when he went to grab the belt. When he was walking towards the belt, he was like, "What are we gonna do?" Like it looked. He knew. He knew when. But part of it is his own fault too, because he fed into him. You know, like keeping bashing Roman's face in while there's chanting yes. Like you need to stop and you need to cut that. You know what I mean? Like as a heel, you need to be effective.
yeah,
But Hunter's torn because Hunter's the good guy in NXT. He's the guy who brings the smart marks, the product. He brings the great wrestling. You know, like he's two different people, and there needs to be continuity. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So they're really in between a rock and a hard place right now. But let's get into it. Let's just jump right in. We'll start with Fastlane. We'll kind of skim through kind of quick. We won't really go into too much detail except for like
Yeah.
the big points. So Callisto and Alberto Del Rio, 2 out of 3 falls. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was super smart booking for Del Rio to not lose any shine because that first loss that he took was from him getting disqualified. Then he picked up some shine, and it was a roll up that beat him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he didn't lose to a finish. He didn't lose, like out of his own misgivings. He didn't lose. Uh, and it keeps Callisto looking like an underdog, a la Rey Mysterio. So I feel like I feel like that's a good direction that they're going with those two. I hope that kind of closes the chapter on those two. I hope Callisto gets somebody else for Mania. Maybe if you even if you do like a double baby thing, like a Callisto versus Neville match, just to be a barn burner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I think that would be something interesting. Just something fresh, something fresh for Mania that is not a marquee match, but it'll be a fast-paced match that can be an either a show opener or it can be a kind of a preheater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want Callisto to be stuck in a cool down match.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I mean, he's the U.S. champion, and I feel like he kind of like, I feel like he maintained where the belt is at currently with the match. I felt like both dudes did really well. Yeah, so I gave it a B plus.
Yeah. After that, we had the women's tag team match: Sasha and Becky versus Tamina and Naomi. I gave that one a 3 out of 5. Like a solid C plus. It wasn't a barn burner. It wasn't fantastic, but it was your typical tag team match that was just typical work. Working over the babyface, hot tag, go home. It was great. Um, I put in here that I thought Naomi really carried her weight, but I feel like Tamina still looks like she's a half step behind everybody else in the ring. Like not even a full click, but it's like just enough where you can see some mistimings. Um, but hopefully we won't see too much of Team Bad in the title picture now that Sasha and Becky went over, and we're gonna be working towards Sasha versus Charlotte at Mania. I hope. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, me too. I felt about almost the exact same way about this match. I feel like you hit on pretty much all the points. It was a decent match. It wasn't anything great. It did kind of advance some storylines. So yeah, I mean, I gave it a C plus B minus, the same grade.
What'd you think about Owens and Ziggler after that for the Intercontinental title?
I gave it a solid A, so I gave it like a 3.5 to 4 star, not an A plus. But it was to me this was actually match of the night. I thought Jericho and Styles was really good too, and it was really close. I mean, this would be like 93.6, and that was like 92.8. You know what I mean? Like they were both really really good. But I gave this one the slight edge just because I felt like the hometown crowd kind of had a lot to do with it to me. The playing off of all that was good to me. So A for me on this match. The spots were good. Crisp wrestling.
To quote the great Kevin Owens, your hometown likes me more than they like you. What a troll. Just,
Yeah, it's
uh,
perfect. It's perfect.
yeah,
That's his role.
it was great. I put the a couple of notable things. Ziggler took a crazy ass shoulder bump into the turnbuckle, like pretty early on, and it looked crazy. Like it looked like he legit hurt himself in that turnbuckle spot. I was
Yeah,
like, ugh, like it looked rough.
yeah, it
Um,
was a good spot.
I marked out for the super kick party, so that was kind of cool. Um, honestly, I would have given it 5 out of 5. Uh, but I was a little biased because I had already seen the match like 3 times in a month. So it got 4.5 out of 5 for me. But it was 5-star work. It's just, you don't see the old school build up anymore where like there's matches but there's false finishes or there's intentional DQs or there's like tag team matches where, the future opponent like costs the babyface the match or just like low blows them or like there's none of that build up where the pay-per-view match feels significantly special compared to Raw or SmackDown.
I
And I
agree with
think
that.
that it's really lacking, especially in title pictures, man. Like I think Ziggler and Owens probably shouldn't have touched each other for like the whole build up. You know what I
I'd
mean?
say at least like
Or
two
maybe
weeks. Yeah,
or maybe like give them a pregnant pause. Like,
yeah,
you know, Ziggler gets that win like week 1 after Royal Rumble. Uh, Owens gets a win after Ziggler gets a win back, and then you don't have them touch each other. and then the rubber matches at the pay-per-view. You
I
know,
would
like
agree with
like
that.
it's just something like that. Um, they did a little promo, like a 30-second little package from Big Show, Ryback, and Kane. I thought it was simple, short and sweet. It was a nice little plug for the match, um, and nobody fumbled over their words, which was great, I guess. Um, but for the match itself, I put that only Ryback can do a drop kick from the second rope to utter silence. I I don't know, man. Ryback worked really hard too. Like that's the thing. Like he does different stuff. So like I give him props for trying different stuff. But I I don't know, man. Uh, I put in here that like Kane's moving around really well. His longevity surprises me. Um, yeah. Oh, notable things. Two notable things. Strowman like bumped himself over the top rope into the floor. I thought that was even like that was impressive for a huge guy. And Big Show fucking military press Luke Harper.
Yeah.
Those are the two most impressive things of the night.
Yeah,
But
actually,
I,
full disclosure for me. So when that promo happened, I realized that it was going to be the 6 man, and I went to Jersey Mike's because I knew with Ryback being in the match, it wasn't going to be very good. And then I came back and I saw the Wyatts on the floor and realized that they had given the win to Big
they did
Show,
the job.
Ryback, and Kane. Okay, no matter how good that match was,
0 stars.
it's an F. And yes,
I gave it. I put
0
that.
stars.
In my notes.
What
I'm
the
literally.
fuck? What the fuck? Like, Jesus Christ. How do you get worse? How do you get worse? Jeez. Oh my God, I can't.
You want to know how you get worse? We're gonna talk about that in about 10 minutes once we get to Raw, because it's gonna get worse. So I put in my notes, like exactly to the T. I said, Kane continues to impress me with his longevity. Most impressive thing all match, Strowman throwing himself over the top rope and out of the ring. Until I just fucking watched Big Show throw Luke Harper. And then I typed, what the fuck? The Wyatt's jobbed? You get no stars. 0 out of 5. You have failed this city. Like,
Yes.
that,
You have failed
you
this
know?
story. Yes. Yes.
Um, so after that disaster was a Roman Reigns interview being carried by Dean Ambrose. Um, and when I watched it, I thought it was okay. A little corny for Ambrose, but then I really like I listened to Stone Cold's both of Stone Cold's podcasts actually, the
Yeah.
regular and the Unleashed, and he pointed out like how chicken shit it was, how it's like overproduced and like it just doesn't fit Ambrose. And the more he says it, the more I agree with it. Um,
Yeah, I agree. Like the line. I remember at
yeah,
the
yeah. Like
time
I already
thinking, like,
booked my
God, this
ticket
is
with
terrible.
Priceline. Yeah, just it's not something that Ambrose needs to say. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
get other people to do it. Like let
Yeah.
our Truth and Goldust do it. You
Right.
know.
Yeah, and that'd be perfect for them.
But funny, I did this little thing where like each of my matches, like I did like I put what it was, and then I put like a little funny title, like like for Big Show Ryback and Kane segment, I said Beware Wyatt family, and then for Roman Reigns interview, I put is it ooh ah like when he screams for the spear, or is it boo ah like little witty things. I was pretty nerdy about it, but it was fun.
That's
I thought it
good.
was funny.
That.
Uh, Charlotte versus Brie was after that, and I I don't know, man. I gave it I ended up giving it a 2 out of 5 just because it wasn't the worst wrestling that I've seen, but this was my second worst match of the night. I
Um,
mean, actually no, I lie. It's my third because I gave our Truth and them way lower. But this is my third worst match, and mostly because I really wasn't believing the whole like Brie Bella is all of a sudden a threat to Charlotte after how dominant the NXT girls have been over the Bellas team. You know what I mean? Like it just you can't make me believe that just because Daniel Bryan retired, now Brie is some big threat to Charlotte. You know, and Charlotte was selling a lot. Like the babyface was on top of that match for a lot of it, and I don't know. I thought it was okay. It wasn't amazing. I think Becky and Charlotte last pay-per-view was much better. But yeah, it was whatever.
Yeah, I mean I gave this match a C minus. I thought Bree did some of her best in ring work. That being said, we all know that Bree's not overly talented in the ring. So I mean that being said, I it was lower quality for a Charlotte title match in my opinion. So I gave it like a C minus. It was a little more than passable, but it wasn't good. That's where I left it. And then the next match was tied for match of the night for me.
Yeah. So Jericho did a interview backstage, and I put as my little subtitle, I said, "Heel Jericho makes me smile." Uh, just because I love Chris Jericho as a heel, or even like a tweener, which is kind of what he's been doing with Styles. Um, I thought it was kind of smart to let him be that, like, I'm not ready to relinquish, my hold of being the best in the world at what I do kind of thing. Kind of a cool little shtick for him to have for this match. This match was great. Like they tore the house down.
Yeah, it was really
Personally,
good.
for me, this was my match of the night. It was uh, what do you say, man? Like it's Jericho, it's Styles. You know, the first two were good, so like you knew this was gonna be good.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that it was I thought that it was questionable to not let the finish be the Styles Clash.
I don't know, dude. Actually, I kind of popped for it because they had me
I
on it. Like I was like,
well,
oh,
like
that's it,
it
that's
was
it, that's
believable.
it. Like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was kind of gave it an edge to me because to me, actually, it was a little. This match was a little sloppier to me, and is why it was a little bit like lower on the line than the Ziggler Owens match. I'm not saying it was a sloppy match. I'm just saying there were a few more sloppy spots in my opinion. Um, and like you said, I listened to the Stone Cold podcast too, and I think it was Wade Keller that said, I mean, Jericho's Jericho, but it's not like he hasn't lost a few steps. Like we all know that, and it's
Right, because he's older and he hasn't been
I
around all the time.
yeah, and I'd like to think that we're both pretty smart marks, but it's still sometimes it's like, if you'd asked me before this AJ Styles program, I'd have been like, oh yeah, of course, Jericho's lost a few steps, but like because of in my own like childhood nostalgia, like I was thinking of like AJ Styles versus 2008, like Jericho,
2001 Chris
yeah, or
Jericho or
2001, yeah.
2005.
And so now, but then it's like, oh yeah, okay. So then I like kind of was like, all right, well, that considered, which we should consider it. Like, it's not just a crutch. Like, it's not like he's having fucking bad matches, But now that I put that in perspective, it's like, okay, because at first I was kind of thinking, well, maybe AJ was a little nervous and missed a few spots. Like that reverse, it's supposed to be the moonsault or the lion salt into the reverse DDT. And it was, when I first saw it, I was thinking, oh man, AJ missed a spot. He was off on his timing. But then after listening to that podcast and thinking, I couldn't even have thought that like, hey, it could have been Chris Jericho that missed the spot. It's like after hearing that, I was like, oh, actually, Chris should have been closer in. Like that was kind of Chris's fault for being too far back. Like, so I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just
Uh, you know,
perspective.
I don't I don't, I don't, I can't fault any of it because Jericho losing a few steps is still better than 90% of their active roster.
Oh
So
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's little things too, because like in my notes, one of my little things was it's the simple things that make wrestling believable. Styles got stuck either in the walls or something like super early, right? So he goes to hit the Styles Clash the first time, but he sells the back injury when he tries to lift Jericho up. Like just little shit like that you don't see in wrestling every day anymore because it's so focused on going from spot to spot to spot. And I know a bunch of like Austin and Ross and even Taz, like they all mention that crap. But like I mean it's true, like
Yeah.
in a world full of spot fest, having some long-term selling is great, you know?
No, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
maybe not like all the time, like maybe not like, like don't work the arm and sell that arm like it's dead for the whole match. But, like give me some sell. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Which we'll
that's the
get
thing.
to later.
I feel like a lot of it too is like, you know, it's like a mixture of the old timers being right and like the new guys also being right. Like it does really need to slow down but that's how you slow it down. You still need to have the big. The old timers aren't completely right where it's like, oh, if you just do more than a headlock could be a finish. It's like, no, that's not true. Like that's not true in
The
2006.
business changes.
Yeah,
It's
it has
just that
changed,
the
and it has changed.
fundamentals don't.
Like a Raw match, and that this is another thing that they've said, not just on Stone Cold's podcast, but Jim Ross's, and I'm a big fan of a lot of those guys, but listen to most of the wrestling podcasts out there. But a lot of them say like, you can just, if you slow it down, then like the smaller moves will mean more, and that's true. But like in 2016, like every Raw has to be a pay-per-view quality match, so you have to do high spots in every match, like. But that's the thing, it's like they're moving so fast, and and honestly, it's because most of the time they're trying to do a whole lot in like 8 minutes, and really they need like at least 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I understand why they're moving so fast, but it's like you just trim, each guy, trim 2 of your spots out and just sell a little bit more. Just spend like literally 60 more seconds of your match selling, and it would be so much better. Same amount of high spots, same amount of risk, just a little bit slower. Like there is a shade of gray. It's not so black and white.
You know what? I just listened to the Young Bucks on Talk Is Jericho. And even like the Young Bucks, like super kick party, 2 sweetened motherfuckers, even they say, like getting your stuff in. When they went to Japan, they were like, pick 3 things, like get 3 things in, and then that's it. Like less is more. Like, and for that to come from like the Bucks, who, when they're in Ring of Honor, it's a super kick party. They're doing the Meltzer driver, which is just ridiculous. It for them to understand that, that should tell you, okay, at some point you really just need to get a couple things in, get yourself some shine. But what do we know? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're just some marks on YouTube.
Right. I really thought it would have been cool if Jericho would have laid Styles out. I like the handshake. Like,
I was kind of waiting for that HBK moment.
Yeah, that's me too.
WrestleMania 19. I was kind of part of me was like, kick him in the nuts, Chris. Kick him in the nuts, Chris. You want to do it.
Yeah.
You want to see it. Kick him in the nuts, Chris.
Or the super plot twist: have Styles kick Jericho in the nuts.
No, Styles heel? That'd be terrible. He cannot carry a heel promo.
Would the Smarks let him be heel? Come on, they'd cheer that kick in the nuts.
Of course they would. Yeah, you're right.
Come on. But like for continuity, like Jericho did it to Michaels, so it gets done to him because now Jericho is in the role that Michaels was in back then.
Okay. I see what you're thinking there, but that's way too deep. That's way too deep for pro wrestling these days, man.
Yeah, well, so this cutting edge peep show thing,
way too long.
But I enjoyed it all the way until
first half of it.
All the way until the League of Nations sucked the wind out of it. I totally forgot this was happening. I love that Chemmel comes back for every time Edge is on TV. I think that's the best thing ever.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
I put wait. This New Day Edge and Christian greatness gets ruined by the League of Nations. What the hell? Well, that sucked the air out of all of that. Every bit of charisma is now gone.
See, to me, all of that should have been pre-show. That should have been the pre-show.
It could have been. Like, you could have done that instead of like half of the panel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then on top of that, after that, we had the social outcasts, which Safety First and Prius. I love Bo Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, I love the social outcast too, man. But this was a Raw match on like semi-main event at Fastlane. The paper, not just a pay-per-view, and not even just a B pay-per-view, but the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
It's a go-home pay-per-view before Mania. Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I even put my only comment on the R-Truth versus Curtis Axel match. I said, we get this instead of Kalisto and ADR on the main show. This gets no stars.
0. F. Yep. That's 2 Fs on a pay-per-view. That's unacceptable. 2 Fs on a pay-per-view is unacceptable.
Yep. And on my notes for the main event, because we're to the main event, I put, I'm giving this 3 stars right now. I already know who's winning. Like, that was when the entrances were getting done. And actually, work-wise, I would have given it maybe a 4-star match because it was a fun match. Like the double team on Lesnar was great. I thought the double table spot was fantastic. Uh I just I can't get over what everybody else can't get over. I can't get over the fact that Dean nailed Roman with like 5 or 6 chair shots. He straight no sold him and then won with the spear that he hit. Now, people have kicked out of his spear at 100%. You expect me to believe that Ambrose wouldn't kick out of his spear when Reigns is at like 30%? Come on. Come on. It wasn't believable. It was the predictable ending we all knew it would be. But
yeah, well, we all hoped, man. We all hoped, especially once Dean dropped the
once he lost the
Intercontinental title
Intercontinental
at
title.
Raw out of nowhere at that Fatal 5-Way that just got announced, and he lost the title. I was like, oh,
But
you know
that's why I
what?
think
They
he's
might.
going to lose to Lesnar. I don't think he's going to beat Lesnar
Oh no, 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 no,
because
no,
they're not going to put Lesnar as the Intercontinental Champion.
no, no,
So, I mean, they're not, and my cat is meowing, so I have to let him in.
no, 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 no. They're not going to let him. No, there's no way they let Brock Lesnar lose.
Right.
But I do think it's going to be a hell of a match. I do think it's going to be a hell of a match.
Ambrose will be made regardless. I don't think that Ambrose will go back to the mid card after Mania because I think that him and Lesnar are going to tear the roof off of that place, and he's just gonna get the shit kicked out of him, and it's gonna be a no holds barred match. So Lesnar's actually going to sell some weapons, and Lesnar's probably actually going to use some weapons, which will be kind of cool because he hasn't done that since 2012 with Cena when he did the Extreme Rules match.
Yeah.
So I mean that'll be something cool, you know. I I I think that has the potential to be match of the night at Mania, Lesnar and Ambrose.
It's possible. I mean, it's possible. I think that dude, so what do you think they're gonna do AJ Styles and Chris Jericho versus the New Day at Mania?
I sincerely hope not.
Yeah, me too.
I hope that we get Styles versus Owens. I don't know though. Like this weird like they're now a tag team thing. That's weird to me.
Yeah,
Like
I'm just. I mean, I like the idea of doing a couple shows, maybe even after Mania, but like with them as a tag team, it's a cool idea. I like it, whatever. But I don't know, man. Why would you not strike while the iron's hot and put him with Owens? Like, just seems to me like the ideal. I think he should win the title at Mania.
Yeah.
At least the IWC will get their babyface glory win at WrestleMania, and that's what WrestleMania is known for. So
like that needs to be the gimme. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, come on, guys. Jesus. Well, that and
like,
the fact that Takeover Dallas is going to be incredible.
well, yeah, but I mean, but that needs to be the Mania gimme. I don't know. Like, I don't want New Day to feud with League of Nations though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want that to be their Mania feud.
Yeah.
Because then you're flipping them babyface.
I don't understand why they're not doing the Usos, New Day, Dudley's 3-way thing.
That needs to be done.
Even if it's not a TLC, like why don't you just do a
3-way dance?
Just a hodgepodge. Just like let them go.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like it makes
sense. I don't know, man. Like, I hope they don't do something stupid like that. Like, I hope they don't do something stupid. Did I see some bullshit with like Styles and Jericho teaming with Mark Henry on SmackDown?
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah. And like they were dancing.
SmackDown was really bad this year, or this today, exceptionally bad.
But like, were they dancing? Like, did we just have AJ Styles dancing on a SmackDown?
I didn't see that. It's a possibility that happened.
There's a picture of all of them posing.
I mean, if AJ's a babyface, that could have happened after air too if he was posing.
Could have been the send them home happy. Could have been.
Yeah,
but
I mean, why not? I have no problem with AJ Styles dancing. He's a babyface. That's fine. I have no problem with that.
But with Mark Henry and Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want AJ to. I don't think they're stupid enough to do this, but I don't want AJ lost in the shuffle for a year, man. Like,
I don't think that's going to happen, but at the same time, too, I think that they're kind of scared to shoot him to the moon.
to overtake Reigns. Duh. Of course
That's
they're
not. I
scared.
don't think. I don't think that that's. He's not. See, that's the thing, though. Like, he could do that potentially with like fan response, but he wouldn't be any better in a mic situation. I mean, if you're a main event guy in the WWE, you've got to be able to carry a 20
You know
minute
what
promo.
though?
Have
You
to
know
be.
what
You
though?
have to be able to. That's what
But
makes you a main event guy.
yeah, but AJ Styles would not go, nah, Chicago, this is real life. Like, Styles wouldn't do that. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, like, and people hate on his mic skills, and like I
I
understand
don't
that
know. I don't think he's a bad promo. That's not what
he's
I'm
not
saying. But at the
he's
same
not The
time,
Rock,
too,
he's not Stone Cold, he's not even John Cena, but I mean like
I
he's
mean,
he's a solid like Jeff Hardy, like, and Jeff Hardy was
yeah,
a WWE champ. You know what I mean?
that's true. That's true. But that's the time that was more of at the time, and Jeff Hardy had a lot longer climb up the ladder in WWE.
Well, yeah, and
Um,
he did, but like, okay, but well, I could probably name a few more, but I mean,
no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But
you don't have to be because Styles will never be the face of the company.
I just think that they want to indoctrinate AJ a little bit more with the big,
Which is
with like
smart.
with the major league way. But I'm not saying he's never going to be champion. I do honestly believe they're probably going to give
Oh
him the
no,
title at least
I
once.
think he will be. I think he will
Um,
be
I think,
within a year. I think.
yeah, I think that he might be the like. I think that he might end up being the new intercontinental guy that takes that title to a higher level. I think that eventually Balor
Hey,
Club, when that comes
would,
up, he'll eventually join that. I honestly do think that they're going to try to suck as much money out of it as they can, since the Bullet Club is popping off so huge.
did Styles win the Ring of Honor title, or was he only TV champ at Ring of Honor?
He
He
won the
got
title.
he did. So if
Yes.
he wins the WWE title, will he be the first one to win them all? Because Kurt Angle's missing Ring of Honor, and Brock is missing Ring of Honor
I
and
feel like there's
TNA.
another one though. I can't. I don't know why I'm not thinking of it.
Now there is
No, you could be
oh
right. CM Punk was X Division champion.
yeah, he was never TNA World Champ, and he was never Japan World Champ.
Oh yeah, that's all of them. Oh
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. All of them.
Yeah, AJ Styles, that'd be dude, God. In like the 2000 teens, like that you have done that in all those territories, that's huge.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so like I think they'll do that. I think they'll do that to where WWE can say, hey, this is our boy now, and he's won every world title in the world.
Everywhere. In every major like or even like every mid-level respectable promotion. Any
They'll just say
promotion that
everywhere.
can
No,
be
they'll just say
seen
everywhere.
nationally.
They don't have to. They can literally just say he has won a world championship everywhere he's been.
Yeah, but they could do that with
That's
the
it.
tag titles, and I feel like they might do that.
Um,
They might do
then
that.
they could say that he's won a world heavyweight championship.
Agreed.
You know
But
what I
they
mean?
could
Like,
still use that line. He's won a
right.
title in every major company in the United States. I can just hear JBL now.
Well, no, because uh I think Shane Douglas has held a title in every company, like ECW, WCW, Ring of Honor, TNA,
Not
WWE,
Japan.
not Japan, but I mean nationally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so, but moving on to Raw, fantasy booking of AJ Styles aside, so we'll just jump out of the gun because there
Yeah.
are only two big things that I want to talk about. Uh, number one, Shane McMahon's back, so that's a thing. And that pop.
Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, dude,
You know
yeah.
what's funny? You know what's funny?
Fangirled
I'm
out.
I'm pretty sure if we go back about 6 months, we mentioned what would happen if Shane came back to go against the Authority.
And we thought it was gold. They'll never do that though. We were like, oh, that'd be
They'll
brilliant.
never do it. Shane doesn't want anything to do with wrestling anymore.
I want my money then.
Oh,
I want my check. I want my check. I know it's you. I know it's you. I know somebody in Connecticut's been watching our YouTube channel. Somebody in Connecticut.
Hunter, don't pay them internet kids any money.
Just saying.
But yeah, man, dude, that pop. First off, as soon as they were opening the show with it, with the award, I was like, oh, it's going to Stephanie. But at first, I thought it was going to be Hunter. Like, since Hunter's champion now, and
Right.
like I thought they were going to do some like, you know, like some wrestler turned executive who is now champion again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I thought they were going to do something like that. Or
Yeah. See, I was, and if you notice, it's a huge, really important thing. Triple H was not out there at all. Didn't come
Nope.
out at any point. That really makes me think
they're going to flip him.
they might turn him babyface, and I got a really good feeling that Triple H might be like, at least like Brock level style wrestler again, like wrestling at least 3 or 4 times a year, which I think would be phenomenal.
It'd be good to build people, and I think here's my thing.
At least until everybody gets back and healthy, like Randy Orton, guys they trusted to indoctrinate, Cesaro, Rollins, like until those guys get healthy. Yeah, like I think he's gonna wrestle, which is phenomenally exciting to me. Just because I feel like an AJ Styles Triple H match would be so good. Oh my god.
How brutal would that be? Because let's be fair, like AJ is still young enough where Trips can just be like full-blown cerebral assassin kind of guy. And I mean, I know he can do it with Reigns too, but I mean, it's more believable because like Reigns will be like the Samoan badass who will just keep taking punishment. Styles will just sell the fuck out of it, like just get killed, you know? Like,
but see, I don't know. See, part of me believes that like really I honestly do believe that he's going to be wrestling a little bit more actively throughout the next year. But I don't I think they should flip him. I think working as a baby face would be good. But then at the same time too, it's like the guys that I would want him to work while he's active, he would need to be heel because I would want him to work Rollins when he comes back. And we all know Rollins is going to get the most ungodly Shane O'Mac style pop when he comes back. And they better that's one of my big. I don't even think they should tease it. Like it should just happen. Like
yeah, they shouldn't promo his return. It should just happen. But then again, they promoted Hunter's return. So I mean, and look at the pop he got in 2002.
That was also 15 years or 14 years ago. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. So then again, The Rock came out of nowhere, and look at that. So
well, I mean, the internet will know. Meltzer will tell us, and we'll know 2 months before he comes back. We'll know what day it is, what city it's going to be in. The internet will know. But I'm saying like mainstream Raw or mainstream WWE should not advertise that he's coming back and just
right. Like they shouldn't advertise it on Raw.
Right.
Yeah, I agree entirely. So Shane's going to be facing The Undertaker at Mania in Hell in a Cell. And first off, that whole promo, I'm pretty sure about 75% of it was like shoot.
Oh, it was shoot work, the whole thing.
Like brutal shoot too. Like Vince dropped F-bombs and everything. I was like, dude, God damn.
Right? Dude, I was like, I don't think I've ever actually audibly heard like very clearly into a microphone the F-bomb on WWE TV in my lifetime. I don't think I've heard it live.
Then you missed the you missed the Rock shooting on Shane and Booker T, because I caught that one and I was only like 10.
What was that?
Stephanie was supposed to cut off the Rock. You can go look at like Rock's funniest moments. It's him and Jericho, and they're making fun of Booker T, Rhino, and Shane and Stephanie are out there, and he says Booker T and Shane, the gold tooth sucker and the silver spoon motherfucker. And Stephanie is supposed to cut him off when he says mother, but she's late. And because Rock's all about like, you know, legit, like he kept going until she cut him off.
Yeah.
And it was luckily it was on a SmackDown, but like it's there. Like,
but was it the whole word before she cut him off?
Yeah. Like,
okay, I'll check it out.
It's all over YouTube, man. Like any of the Rock's like funniest moments, it's there.
Okay, well that's still been what, like 20 years, or at least like
but you know 15, what I mean? Like so
at least 15 years.
I've never heard Vince do it. I have never heard Vince do it. You know, like, yeah.
Dude, he would like so fire someone if that was you know, like
But
If that had been anybody else,
he said motherfucking too, because
yeah,
I watched the unedited version, like the live, like
yeah,
somebody had their camera out, and he said motherfucking beating.
yeah,
I was like, yes. So
that was
I
awesome.
yeah, I love that whole. That was for the first time. That was a 30-minute opening to Raw that felt like 10. Like it was the first time in a long time that a 30-minute authority like talking angle didn't feel like a 30-minute talking
Right,
angle.
didn't feel too long because I was interested the whole time.
Right. I wasn't looking at my watch going, when am I going to get a wrestling match?
Right.
I was actually kind of disappointed when I got a wrestling match. Like I was just like, can I have Shane on my TV for like another hour? Like that'd be great.
Yeah, I was like, oh, New Day. I mean, I love New Day, but oh,
Speaking of New Day, check out their Facebook because they're just thrashing the League of Nations. Like they're doing like skits making fun of them. They're having like Sheamus as an abusive bully, just bro kicking like Rusev and Wade Barrett for not running errands for him. It's hilarious.
oh yeah, I gotta check that out.
Hilarious. Just check their Facebooks. It doesn't matter which one because it's on all three. But it's hilarious because Kofi is being Sheamus. And he's got like a cardboard cutout, like an orange, like it almost looks like a fucking like gobbledygooker kind of color. But he's got it like taped to his head
Oh,
as
that's
a
gotta be
mohawk.
awesome. That's gotta be
Oh,
awesome.
and it's like cardboard, bro. And all he does is just go, Fella! He just
That's
broke.
awesome.
It's it's hilarious.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Big E is Rusev, and all he says is Machka. You
Watch
know,
God.
yeah. It's funny. It's funny. So the only other thing there's actually two other things. Number one, they're turning Ryback heel again. Like
Oh yeah.
the reset of Fastlane. They let the Wyatts get their win back, thank God. But you know,
Yeah, on Raw.
yeah,
Okay, that's stupid.
yeah, and Ryback turned heel.
Yeah. Okay.
So whatever, because that went over so well last time he turned heel.
I mean, it's like,
Look at you, Rybaxel.
I know the guys in our group are all like, yeah, well, I mean, that wasn't. I mean, I know you guys hate Ryback, but that promo was pretty good. And it's like, I mean, it was not his worst promo.
It's not a barn
That's
burner
pretty
promo.
much
Like
all
it's
I got. Like, I mean, it was still not great, like, or even good, honestly. I just,
well, I mean,
okay,
Ryback's
like,
never been good on the stick. Like
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they were all like, oh yeah, promo, and I was like, I mean, it's not his worst, but come on,
it's not
guys.
something I'm gonna be like, oh, it's a highlight of Raw. Ryback did a good promo. Like
Yeah, it's like, and dude, like, I have no all right, I have no personal vendetta towards like Ryback. Like, I mean, whatever, he
liar.
might be a great guy, whatever. No, what I'm saying is like, people are like, oh, well, come on, he's getting better, he's doing this and that. It's like, dude, all that's true. You know what? All that's true, but it's like, he's just a big body. Like, there's so many other guys that deserve to have his spot. So many, like, he's never going to be better than guys that you haven't even put on TV that are in NXT right now. You know what I'm saying? He's never going to be great. And why do we, because he's got a huge body? Like, dude, please, it's 2016. Don't tell me you can't go to Orlando and find me 3 guys that look like Ryback, because you can. Like, I'm never going to get behind it. And it's not like, again, like, I don't hate the guy as a person. It's like, it's just why? You shouldn't be a wrestler, man. It's like, it's really not for
They
you.
made the mistake though. They made the mistake. They pulled their foot off the gas pedal, and when you do that, you screw up because Sheamus will never be over as he was after the 18-second win over Daniel Bryan because that reputation is always going to be there. Punk's podcast killed Ryback because they let their foot up off the gas off of him in 2012, and then the whole Punk thing happened.
Yep.
I mean, that's why they're not stopping with Roman Reigns, because if they do, they're never going to get him over. You know what I mean? Like, and they're still probably never going to get him over, but
Till he turns heel. He'll get over his heel.
right,
And I
right.
actually thought that for a really long time. The IWC has been saying that for a while, and I was against it. I think now, not then when they were saying it, but now it would probably be a good time to turn him heel. Maybe at Mania.
I think if you do it, it has to be at Mania. I think if you don't, you're going to be met with a chorus of boos anyway.
Well, I mean, on the company side, you can't really afford to turn him heel until you have another babyface that can pick up merchandise sales. Even though his haven't been that great, like, you can't really turn him heel until Cena's ready.
Ambrose is selling more merch than him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean,
I mean,
you know,
that's what I was kind of thinking at Fastlane, man. It would have just made so much more sense to just, have
well,
Ambrose, you be the baby face and go to the main event, and then put Reigns with Lesnar, and have Reigns be the heel, and Reigns the baby, and Lesnar the baby face. I thought that could kind of work, especially, and that could really get Reigns over, I think, and it would help both guys. But
well, Reigns beating Lesnar is more believable than Ambrose, and that I will
right,
go on record and saying that that's
yeah,
more believable. And then you've got Reigns made because he's a heel. Then, if you really want to make him a heater, he beats Lesnar earlier in the night. Then he screws Ambrose and sides with the Authority, and then you've really got to cook him with gas heel.
yeah, man,
I mean, it writes itself. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But and my thing is after Raw, so the Raw beatdown happens, and like H is just nailing this dude, like destroying him, and you can even see when like Reigns comes out now, like he just knows he's not getting over,
yeah.
and and like you can just see it on both their faces while they're working, like when when Reigns gets booed that whole match, and then Triple H comes out to just hard cheers, even when they look at each other, they're both like, "Oh, what do we do?"
Dude, I honestly feel like at this point, like there has to have been a conversation back there with like the three of them, and Roman's probably like, you know what, I could probably do the heel thing, and Triple H is like, I mean, it might be smart, since we're going to this brand extension, which I'm fucking positive they're doing now that Shane is in the picture. I'm 100% positive that we're going to see a brand split again. I'm 100% positive that Shane will be around, or he will assign maybe Daniel Bryan to be his custodian or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Like there'll be a babyface runner of Raw, there'll be a heel runner of
Heel runner of
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like it's gonna happen.
I feel like if you do that, maybe do some like kind of if they're gonna do separate rosters, they should add some maybe shoot aspect to it where like it's an inter-war with WWE where like SmackDown starts going
That's what they're
live.
doing. I think that's
Like
what they're
but like
doing.
but
They're
like
doing
like
WWE versus WWE Raw. They've already got
right.
Ticketmaster like tickets for
Well,
it.
that I heard they changed that back and then that it was a typo, but that could be covering. But I think it would be cool if SmackDown goes live. You know what I mean? Uh, because like Stephanie and them are
Oh
running
yeah, two
SmackDown.
totally different. Two totally different. I mean, stick with it.
Right,
Have a draft, but stick with it for at least a year. Do it every year, like you have the NFL draft or NBA draft. But everybody's a free agent. It's like a fantasy draft every time.
right,
Um,
exactly. And you can do it where SmackDown's live, and you can, you know what I mean? Like you
yeah,
can you can do the pay-per-view split again if you want. But
yeah. You can
I
just
would
make it Smarkamania every year. Smarkamania now has a new twist every year. That's always going to be interesting. It's always the draft. The day after Mania, it's the reset of the new year anyway. I mean,
Yep,
that's why I
that's
think.
what I do.
All right, your thoughts on the Undertaker Shane thing? How do you see that going at Mania?
I enjoy the theory of Taker like it being brutal because Shane's gonna bump all over for Taker.
Oh yeah,
This will actually be the first Mania in a while since the Lesnar one, and even for Triple H, where Taker won't have to do a lot of bumping.
yeah,
Uh, he'll actually be giving the bumps rather than taking them. So I think it'll be good for Taker, but I think that Taker's going to be so close to winning, and then Vince won't be able to resist himself. He'll come out to the ring, and Taker will do like the last stage of defiance and put Shane over him and
yeah.
take the loss.
I think something like that was going to happen too. Or I think,
And I
or I
also
think, or
think,
I think the smartest thing that I've heard is that like Vince comes down and somehow gets the door open, and and Undertaker choke slams him and just leaves. Like doesn't pin Shane, just leaves.
interesting. Also, another thing I heard a fan theory of like Vince will like Taker will come out on Monday and say that he doesn't want to do it because he's not going to be Vince's lapdog, and then Vince will say he has to do it because his career is on the line, and then Taker goes out on his back uh, to retire in Dallas. But I kind of don't want that because I
Yeah,
still think
I
that
don't think
Taker
that's how
can
it's
go
going to go
two or
down.
I
I don't
still
think.
think that Taker can go 2 or 3 more years with the
I
schedule
just
that he's
don't
been
think
working.
Taker's last match is going to be against Shane McMahon. I just
No,
can't.
I don't
I
either.
can't.
I think they're gonna wait until they have an official word if Sting will happen or if Cena will happen. Also, if Cena's the genetic freak, because if anybody can recover in time, it's gonna be him. Shane may find a loophole to where he has a representative, and we may
Yeah,
get
see, on
Cena and
SmackDown
Taker.
though, they already were like setting up. They were like showing Shane McMahon highlights and showing the Undertaker thing with Hell in a Cell. Like that's the
Well,
match. Like
they've done that since Monday.
yeah, that's the match. I mean, it's. I think that's. I mean,
I
everyone's
think
trying
it's
to find
pretty
a way
clean
for Shane
cut.
McMahon not to be wrestling, but it's gonna be Shane McMahon versus the Undertaker. That's what's
Another
gonna
cool thing,
happen.
if they didn't, because of their alliance history, even though it kind of ended bad because he turned back to WWF. How cool would it be if Kurt Angle came back to face Taker?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'd
That'd be
like
great.
that. Keep keep Angle on like a live TV only, or hell, send him to NXT to work with Gable for 6 months and just have gold.
There's Team Shane, you know,
Right? Like I mean, I don't
or
know.
just bring up. No, honestly, dude, just bring up Team Alpha and just have them like work those Raw and Smackdowns for Angle and just have Angle talk for him.
Do World's Greatest Tag Team.
And,
Yeah,
and,
but
and
I
just
feel like
and
you
just
can't.
only wrestle at like pay-per-views or wrestle in six mans where he can save his body.
I feel like you
Really
can't bring
smart.
them up yet, man, because like there's
No,
just so
not
many
yet.
other
Not
teams.
yet. Not yet. I
You
don't
know.
think it's going to happen yet. And honestly, I want to see them with a very long NXT title run, and
hmm
which will happen in my opinion.
There was another one where somebody suggested Finn Balor for Shane, and I'm like, no, there is not going to be any. If anybody replaces Shane, it's no one from NXT because
And
that
honestly,
nobody.
guys, all right, I'm going to say this. All right, Bailey is outdrawing and outselling Finn Balor. Okay, so
Yep.
stop keep acting like Finn Balor is the second coming. That he's a good hand. He's not as good as AJ. And we've already got him on the main roster. He's not as good as Nakamura. He's not really as good as Zayn. Sorry, he's a good worker. I like his gimmick is intriguing. He's a really cute guy. I get that, but honestly, he needs to stay in NXT. He needs to turn heel, in
Well,
my
and
opinion.
he knows that because he wants to stay in NXT. But my point is like nobody that works Takeover is coming up for Mania.
No,
It's not happening. Nobody in the
maybe it's Markamania, but not at WrestleMania. No.
but if they come for Smarkamania, they're not going to work. It's gonna.
Mm,
I don't think so, man. I don't. I don't see.
I
I don't
think
see
Corbin
Zayn.
loses to Aries and shows up on Smarkamania.
You think Corbin's coming up?
I think Corbin's coming up.
See, I think that if. Well, see, I don't know. Do you think that you think Balor's going to stay, or do you think Zayn's going to be the next one to feud? Uh,
Oh
because
yeah, oh yeah. I didn't think
because
about
I'm
that.
pretty sure Joe's going to win at Takeover.
You think so?
I think if he doesn't if he doesn't then Anderson and Gallows are showing up and Balor Club is starting to take over
That's what I think. I think he's
because
gonna win. I think he's gonna win. I think Balor's gonna win.
and I think Balor Club's going to be babyface instead of heel like Bullet Club.
Yeah, because it's a
I don't
smart.
think right
That's
because it's a
literally
smart
a
crowd.
smart. Yeah, the whole
Yeah,
demographic is the internet.
yeah,
Like, I mean, literally.
yep.
Considering the
So
only place you can watch the show is on the internet.
right, so like I think that'll be cool. But I also think that means that he moves on to something else. Like as weird as that sounds, if
Oh
he
yeah, no. I think he's done with Joe for sure. But I think that Joe is gonna
But that's
have.
why I don't think Corbin's coming up because I think Corbin will be next.
Wait, what?
Like if Joe loses,
Oh, Corbin's
then
working with Finn. Okay, yeah, I
right,
see
I
that.
think because Finn's gonna stay babyface if Balor Club shows up.
Do you think Joe might come up?
As much as I would love that, yeah,
He's so dope, though.
yeah, because
Because
I'd like
maybe
to
we
see
just
him
get
work it.
Joe and Styles on Raw, which would be awesome. I mean, it's happened to Matt a million times, but
Yep.
I mean, it's great every time.
I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much on who I want to come up because I could just list the whole NXT roster for the most
Yeah.
part.
Honestly,
You
you're
know,
probably right though. It'll probably be Zayn first because Zayn and Owens would make sense
he
right
was
after Smartmania.
and
Right
see
after WrestleMania.
and see if he wasn't wrestling Nakamura. I would say that it would be smart for Zayn to come up and face Owens for the Intercontinental title at Mania. Like, I
What
thought
is
that
he
would have been
doing at
great.
Mania? Surely he's not doing Ziggler again.
Who? Owens?
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's wrestling Styles.
I hope so. I really hope that's what they're doing.
I hope it's not
They
some
gotta get to it
stupid
pretty
filler.
quick. They got like 4 weeks left.
Yeah, I hope it's not some stupid filler. Like, like who credible right now as a babyface can wrestle him? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Ziggler's gone. I mean, you could flip Tyler Breeze if you really want to, but I don't.
Couldn't make Tyler Breeze a babyface. That character just doesn't work babyface.
You know what I
I
mean?
think
Like I
he
don't.
deliberately got himself that gimmick so he wouldn't have to be a babyface, honestly.
But I don't. But I don't know who else is really left for the Intercontinental title. Like as a babyface for Owens to work.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I agree.
and then, what the hell are you gonna do with Bray Wyatt?
I mean, they could do Bray Owens.
Nah, I don't want that. No way. Because I think Strowman will be in the 20-man battle royal on the pre-show, and so will Big Show. And Big Show will be 1 man away from going 2 in a row, and Strowman will eliminate Big Show and establish himself as the new big man.
Yeah, I think so. That'll probably happen too.
So they need to keep the Wyatts heel for that.
As long as it's on the free show.
But it will be.
It should just be at Access or something.
You know what they should do? Because I heard they're getting rid of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I think they're doing a Money in the Bank ladder match.
Really?
If they don't do that,
That.
I'm going to say the United States title match is going to be a multi-man ladder match.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, what do you do with the United States title? You gotta do something cool with it. I think that would make more sense to me. Multi-man ladder match for
So
that.
then that's maybe where you could stick like a Bray Wyatt or a Luke Harper.
Luke probably more
Definitely
than
Luke.
Bray.
Yeah.
I would think that you would give Bray a singles
But who?
something.
But
Probably
who?
Ryback.
Ryback's flipped.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, you could do Kane again. You could do Big Show. You could do. Uh, you could have him squash the Social Outcast 4-on-1. Uh,
Or just the Wyatt family versus the Social Outcasts.
oh Jesus Christ! Don't try to kill me.
I mean, I know, but it's. I mean,
I
right
don't. I
now
don't
it's like
know.
if you look at the sheets and where everybody's gonna go, I mean, if we look at the card as just based on what we know, it's like there's really no baby faces, like none.
There's
To
only
work
three
with Wyatt.
things. There's only three things confirmed right now: Triple H and Roman.
But all of the baby faces are hurt, man. I mean, how many baby? I mean,
I know.
Kalisto. I mean, Kalisto Wyatt.
No, I don't want that either. The thing is like,
I mean, that actually might be decent, but
like you could do Jericho Wyatt again, but why would you want to do that
yeah,
again?
yeah. And then what do you do with Jericho? He's got to wrestle on the show. What do you do with the Dudleys? What do you do with the Usos?
Honestly, I really think the best way to go is the Dudleys, Usos, and New Day for
Of
tag
course,
titles.
but then what do you do with League of Nations?
Screw League of Nations.
It's dude, the balance between heels and baby faces is so
It's
off
so off
kilter.
kilter right now.
And honestly, they're only really investing in like 2 or 3 storylines at a time, and you have so many people on the roster because you're trying to fill the holes of these stars that you don't,
Bro, could you
have right
imagine?
now. And
Could
it's
you
like,
imagine like an actual brand split? Like how many of the undercard that are so underutilized right now? How many of them could actually get over?
oh yeah, it'd be awesome. I mean, I'm very. I mean, I
Ryder could
actually
get
didn't like
TV
the first
time.
brand split, but I think now it would make the most sense. Especially if we could like really sustain NXT, because then they would finally have what was like the failed idea of Raw, SmackDown, and that ECW, like really would work now because the
See,
time is.
that's what I heard they were going to do. That they were going to try to bring NXT in as a third viable
Yeah,
traveling
they
show.
should. They should. I mean,
And
I feel like everybody, honestly, everybody keeps being like, and of course, like in our dreams, we're like, oh yeah, these guys deserve to come up. But it's like, I say, just close the door off, like leave everybody in NXT that's in there right now, and just keep having it, like just make it bigger, like put them
could
on
you
tour
could you
all the
imagine?
time.
Because like here's the thing: if you do a brand split, make Owens leave Raw, have Owens go to SmackDown, and
Yeah,
have the Intercontinental title be like an international heavyweight championship or something like that. You know what I mean? Like make it a world, like make it a
like
level
IWGP
above.
Intercontinental title.
Exactly. Exactly. And then you do something crazy like Kevin Owens versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. But
Well, see, I think they should do an exclusive secondary titles. Like for example, if they do the
yeah,
brand split, it should be like U.S. champion is only on Raw, Intercontinental champion is only on SmackDown. But the World champion, that's where they fucked
goes
up to me
both.
with the brand splits. They shouldn't have had two different World champions. It's
Well,
stupid.
originally they didn't. And then in '03 or '02, Brock said he wasn't going to Raw. And then storyline wise, because they wanted to bring Big Gold back for Triple H and all this stuff.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, I get
you
it.
know,
I get it. I mean, it just, and I guess at the time I was actually kind of excited about having two, but it's not, it's stupid to me. Like now,
yeah, like, I
in
mean,
this
the
climate.
subtitles are cool, though.
Yeah,
And then, like, your
but
tag champs can do both shows, too.
yeah, but that way you have NXT is literally its own standalone thing because that's the only other one that has a world title. You know what I mean?
And that's an argument for another day because we still have that debate that we did where we were saying, is the NXT title a world title? I still say, yeah, because it's been defended across the country and
Yes,
in
it is
other
a world
countries.
title. It is a world title. NXT is its own promotion in my mind, and that is its world title. I think they could use a secondary title in NXT, and I think they need a 2 hour show, not three, but two.
Yeah, I think they definitely need a secondary title, especially
They
with
need
the
a
talent
TV
they
title.
have. But
To have something with lineage or a cruiserweight title, could be what they're doing.
I am so stoked for that.
See, I'm kind of stoked for it, but at the same time, too, it's like Chris Jericho says it all the time. Once you're branded a cruiserweight, that's what you are for your whole career. And he's totally right. Like, as much as I love the cruiserweight days in WCW, as a fan, it's great. But for the workers, it sucks because you are literally pigeonholed to that one spot probably for the rest of your career, at least in WWE. Like,
Well, that's why it's only going to be a network special. It's not actually going to be a cruiserweight division. It's just a tournament for lightweights.
yeah, but what's the title? I mean, what's the tournament for?
Right. And I don't know what
A
are they
trophy? Are
well, I
these guys
mean,
going to sign to WWE? What's the purpose
it
of
might
doing
be
this?
it might be a like the G1 tournament. The G1 tournament is just a trophy.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but like I heard that they were going to do it to really promote that new guy from India. No, I'm sorry, not him. Uh, the Lucha that they signed, La Sombra,
Oh, cool.
who is a if you haven't seen any of his Mexico stuff, you should check it out. Dude's pretty good. So like it's a worthwhile thing to do. Uh, but like I'm more hoping to see like who they bring in. Like who do they it would be cool if like maybe they brought in like Jack Saber Jr. or
Jack Saber
like
Jr.? Yeah,
yeah, like that would be cool. They bring him in. Um, I would love for Ricochet to come in, but he's
that's
under lock and key.
locked up, dude, for like
Yeah.
7 years too.
Yep. Yep. He's super locked up. Um, Same thing for like all your Angelico is another one who's in Lucha Underground who's a
Yeah, he's
beast.
so good. Yeah. Um,
Um,
but
I thought
yeah,
it'd be
locked up.
cool. Yeah, it'd be cool if they bring Bourne back for a night. Like just let
Yeah,
Bourne,
that'd be a nice little
you
pop.
know.
Kendrick, since he's already
Yeah,
working for him, pretty much be a nice little
he's a
pop.
trainer. He's a trainer for him now.
Yeah. Noble would be cool to see.
Even Mercury, if Mercury wants to get in a bump, you
Yeah,
know,
I'm fine with that.
just like some retro faces.
Yeah, why
Uh,
not? But see, I just think it would be, I just think I think NXT needs a secondary title. But they need a longer show, dude. God, 1 hour it really isn't enough. Like 2 hours is the sweet spot for a wrestling show. We've talked about this. Like 3 hours is way too much, and then 1 hour really isn't enough. I know the whole like leave them wanting more thing, and I know it has worked for NXT in the past, but it's like, dude, like you're here, and we all love you, and like, but you could like NXT literally could be its own sustainable brand if they had a 2 hour show and like just toured like regularly, not just every once in a while they'll film at a different college. I mean maybe not arenas, but at least like municipal auditorium style places like everywhere. A few
no
thousand
man, they
seats.
could do arenas. They
Yeah, they
could do
could.
arenas.
They could, but it's almost like I don't want them to. Like why? Why? Like
Let them
do it
keep
like
let them keep
wrestling.
that house show
Wrestling
vibe.
Gorilla could book bigger venues, but they don't because they make more money this way per seat. Like it's there's something to be said about that. You know what I mean? Like I still want it to have that like the vibe that it has is crucial. So I don't want it to just be in arenas all the time. The arena shows should only be takeovers. Only takeovers. I'm fine with those being in arenas, but that's it. Like everything else should be smaller venue. Like even if you have to turn people away, like that's the way it should be. I think that's the leave them wanting more to me.
Right. Well, keep it like keep it like an underground thing. Let it keep
Yes.
that indie vibe to it.
Yes.
You know, like yeah. I mean, I'm cool with that. Uh, and I'm cool with 2 hour show too. It's just like don't be a SmackDown 2 hour show. Don't
Right.
be 45 minutes of wrestling and an hour and 15 minutes of Raw recap. You
Yeah.
know, like give me 2 hours of wrestling like a Monday Night Raw when it was 2 hours from 8 to 10.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Exactly.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what they do when Shane inevitably wins because I'm pretty sure he's not a one-off experience. Like I'm pretty sure he's sticking around at least for a little while, at least until SummerSlam, I'd say.
Yeah. I just don't think it would make sense to bring him back. Like, it would make so much more sense to bring in a guy like for a one shot, like just Kurt Angle, give him a one shot. Like you know he's going to perform at WrestleMania. You probably know he's not going to die in the ring one time. You know it's a calculated risk. Like do something like that, or like I don't think you bring in Shane McMahon just to do a match with the Undertaker at WrestleMania. Not that that's not a huge thing, and it is the main event outside of the world title picture. It's just that he's Shane McMahon. I mean, he's a McMahon. Like you don't bring him in just for Mania. I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. Do you think that they're gonna do anything with Rock and Austin and maybe even Shawn at Mania?
Maybe. I think they'll all be there. I think we'll have one of those moments like Hogan and The Rock and Austin. I think it'll. I think we'll have something like that. Um,
See, I don't know, man. I'm scared they're gonna do like I'm scared they're gonna do like Shawn as the special ref or Rock in Reigns' corner or like I'm scared they're gonna do
I
something
don't.
crazy like that.
I don't think they're gonna do that. They don't have to. I think they'll find. I mean, they'll advertise them. They'll find a way to use them somehow. Um, I don't know.
I'm almost like, what the hell do you do with Austin other than just come out and cut a, you know, here's my beer promo?
Yeah, but that's all you need him to do. Come out, get a pop, be out there 3 minutes, maybe have the Rocks music hit, and then talking about how like they are, everything about WrestleMania. All they have the best WrestleMania moments. Boom, HBK music hits. It's not WrestleMania without Mr. WrestleMania. Texas, huge pop. They all get in there. They all drink a beer. They all leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
I
it's
guess.
10, 15 minutes right there. It's good. It's feel good stuff. It's WrestleMania. I mean, those are three of arguably the best. They're all three of those guys are in the top five greatest of all times, or at least top 10. So
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
how you do those guys.
Yeah, I think that's the simplest way to do it. I just don't think that they think simply.
Yeah.
And that's what scares me. That's my biggest fear. My biggest fear is that Mania is going to be too overthought and they're going to try some weird shit with this main event. This main event scares the shit out of me, just so you know. Like, I'm going to watch it for the train wreck that I'm pretty sure it's going to be.
I
But
mean, either way, though, it's like they have options both ways. If they go with Roman Reigns and put him over and try to push him as a babyface still, then so be it. We know what it's going to look like. We've seen him as a baby to try to push him as a babyface champ before. It's not. I mean, it's bad, but I mean, come on, we've dealt with worse. Um, Triple H winning is also another kind of conundrum because it's like, where do you really go with that? You know what I mean? Like, do you have Triple H move on to a different babyface? Like, and then if you do, who? John Cena? Really? Do we want to see
because
that
we've
again?
never
John
seen
Cena and
that.
Triple H? Yeah, like you know what I mean. It's like it's a tough spot
Ambrose,
to be
man.
in.
I mean,
Um, yeah, see,
Ambrose,
that's the only way. The only way to me it works is if Triple H or if Roman Reigns turns heel. That's the only way I can see the future being brighter. Although
yep.
Smarkamania to me is actually the reset. To me, Mania is the end of the year, so
If
maybe
he
Smarkamania.
wins,
And they have been known to just change the entire direction of where they were going. The Raw after Mania, they've been known to do that. You know.
if he wins, Smarkamania is going to tear him up.
Oh God.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I am only watching right now for the train wreck that is coming. Like I'm the guy that's got his popcorn at the
It'll
fork in the
be
railroad tracks.
it'll be something to bitch about on YouTube for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, uh, just a heads up, guys. I think that we are going to try to get a group webcast out with our buds over at Pro Wrestling Cast for a post Mania show. So that'll be in a few weeks. Hopefully, those boys are down for it. We're down for it. So, um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be getting my notes live from Raw in Nashville next week. Thursdays are going to be good for me from now on. So as long as you have them, we can start kind of trying to keep on the road to WrestleMania. And then I guess we'll probably have like three that whole weekend we'll have shows pretty much every night, right? I mean,
We're pretty
Takeover and
much
then
gonna have a show every night. For the Mania week, what we're gonna try to do, guys. We're gonna do a takeover. We're gonna do the weekend wrestling, which would be the go home for Raw, NXT, and maybe SmackDown, depending on how good the go home SmackDown is. We'll do NXT Takeover review. We'll do Mania review, and then we probably won't do a week in wrestling after Mania. What we'll probably do is we'll do a Smarkamania review because the Raw after Mania is going to be a pretty hot and heavy one. So
yeah,
that'll be 4 shows,
in like
not in a
5 days
row, but it'll be Thursday and then 3 days worth of shows that we'll have up.
in a row.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so uh, gonna be some late nights, gonna be a lot of spamming on the YouTube channel, but I
Dude,
mean it's
as
that
bad
time of
as it
year.
is, as bad as it is, I'm just so happy that it's this time of year. I
It's
mean,
this time of year, man. I mean, the thing is like no matter how shitty the teams are playing, you still watch the Super Bowl. So
yeah,
you know,
yeah. This is the
I
Browns
mean,
and the Bills in the Super Bowl, but you know,
yep,
I'll
yeah.
take what I can get. The
So
commercial will probably be great.
yeah, I hope I hope we see some more network specials come out.
Yeah, I think we will, man. I think we talked about the cruiserweight thing, and I think that they're gearing it up. I'm pretty sure that cartoon is going to debut soon, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty funny. So
Yeah, Ride Along's pretty good if you haven't watched any of
yeah, it's not
that.
too bad. Yeah,
The Edge and Christian show is hit or miss. You have to really like the dry old school humor,
yeah, or
which
just
I
be a
do.
stoner like me, which is to me it's awesome. But I'm normally
Not,
watching it really late,
not
and
a,
I'm
I would
probably
say
gonna.
not a stoner, but I find the like really dry humor funny. So like like Vince telling Christian, "I don't like you. I've never liked you." Like that was hilarious to me. Like you just have it's not for everybody.
You
I'll
got to be
say
a
that.
mark, dude. You have to
Right,
be a
right.
mark. Like you
Gotta
can't just
be.
be a casual fan, or even just like a kind of smart fan. Like you have to be a mark to really like that show.
Cause
Like
because Edge is hilarious. Edge just breaks kayfabe like it ain't no
all the
fucking
time. Oh
business.
yeah, yeah,
Like
which is
so
awesome.
yeah, it's great. So those are two things that I'd suggest to check out. Check out Ride Along, check out the Edge and Christian show. Um yeah. So that's gonna be our schedule. We're gonna do this week in wrestling for the next few Thursdays, and then our Markamania of posts for reviews and things like that. But yeah, that was this week in WWE because really, if just me, Lucha Underground really wasn't eventful, and I don't watch TNA anymore because God forbid I have given up on that company.
Oh god, it's dead. R.I.P.
So that's a shame because Michael Bennett and Maria are there now, but
Yep.
you know, whatevs.
For those guys, collect a
So,
paycheck, get out when you can.
so, but that's gonna do it. I'm Matt. He's Dan. We're Mouth of the Mark, and this has been a week in wrestling. We're out.
Peace.